next setting that we are going to look at is the tone curve. Tone curve is a very powerful tool, and it's not just in Adobe Lightroom, it's in every single software. Even the photo editor that's in your phone has a tone curve tool. What is tone curve and why is it so powerful? We are going to look at that, and mainly what we are going to do in this example is we are going to edit this photo only using the tone curve. So the first thing we see wrong with this picture is that the shadows area is very dark and highlights are okayish and the midtones are not very much visible, right? So to understand tone curve, you have to look at three things. Again, number one, it's going to be affecting the exposure overall, like this. Number two, it's going to be affecting highlights, shadows and midtones. Now, the upper side, which means the left side of the tone curve, is the bright side. So if you move the graph towards the upper left side, it's going to make the picture bright, and if you move the graph on the lower right side, it's going to make the picture dark. Very simple. So now divide this graph into three sections. The top is the highlights area, the middle is the midtone area, the below area is the shadows area. So if I put a dot here and a lock here and then a lock here and just move the upper side, it only affects the highlights. Again, this is a very interesting example to look at, that everything you do in Adobe Lightroom has a equal and opposite reaction. And I think this graph explains it much better. If you see, I bring down the highlights, the midtones, they start to come up on their own. So the information is being effective. Whatever you do is going to have a reaction. Of course, that's, I think, how life is for most of us. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Yes. Yeah. So let's get back to it. So let's start solving the problem one by one. Let's fill it up. So we start to see, put it here, we increase the exposure by increasing the highlights area. Then we bring it back, creating an S curve, which is the most famous graph, and it's very convenient to add the contrast in your photos if you just want to add some contrast. So you see, we created the S curve, but it's not working on this photo. So what we're going to do, we're going to lift up those shadows. We're going to lift those up. We're going to bring this up as well. We're going to bring those shadows out. We're going to bring those shadows out. We're going to bring those shadows out. Yeah. We're going to bring some midtones out as well. And then we're going to add the shadows back. Drop down the highlights just a notch. So we stop seeing that white pop. Let's see the before and after. A lot of difference. Shadows are very much visible. We can add a bit more of. We can also change the RGB channels from here. You can go to red and start increasing or decreasing the red if you want, just to add some color tone. It's a very sweet and easy process, only using the S curve, and you have like a lot of margin to play around, especially with the colors. We're going to talk more about colors and how am I shifting them here. We're going to talk about that very soon, but it's just an entirely different topic and it's a lot of information. So this is only using the S curve. Very nice edit. I think I love it. All I have to do is just fix your skin and we are pretty much good to go. So when you click this graph button, it opens more settings. This means the region effect and point curve custom. So this means this is the custom effect that we have added. We can add more effects on it. We can even further enhance it if you want. We can if I move the darks, of course, as it says, it's gonna affect the shadows area. It's gonna affect all the dark area in the photo. If I move the lights, it's gonna affect all the light area in the photo. If I move the highlights, it's gonna affect the most brightest part of the picture. Here it's not affecting anything. It is affecting only her shirt. You don't want that. I think you're pretty much fine with that. You just want to open up the shadows just a bit and make it a bit dark. Just drop the highlight just a notch and see what you have. Very nice. Only using the tone curve. We added the colors by using the red, green, blue scale. We added the RGB and very nice. Let's move to the next part.